everyone, happy week 6. This week's discussion, the topic that I chose was discuss how the 1920s may have been the truly modern decade and how our current 2020s compare to those years. So first off, the 1920s had a lot of technological breakthroughs that greatly affected how people worked, how they lived, how they communicated. Cars were more in mass production. Those that could afford it, it was an easier way for them to travel and get around. There was also home appliances. The radio was introduced. Vacuum cleaners and refrigerators also made an appearance. And in the 2020s, we saw a lot of technological advances as well. We still use phones. However, they're now smart devices. Everything seems to be smart now. We use smart cars, smart TVs, smart refrigerators, and then also going back to smart cars or electric cars. Obviously, we use electricity still, but they kind of changed that and kind of turned that into electric cars as a way to help with the environment, to save on gas. So that's kind of where, kind of think about how cars were back then versus how they are now. Definitely kind of makes you think about that. So also another theme that I noticed just in reading was that the 1920s, they were recovering from World War I. And while there were only a couple of years difference between 1918 and 1920, they had the Spanish flu. On the flip side of that, in 2020, while we're not really recovering from a war, we are recovering now from COVID. And this affected us greatly as a country. We had to learn how to social distance. It spread easily, just like the Spanish flu did. Didn't kind of know what hit us. It just kind of hit us all of a sudden. And even though we were able to recover, we were able to create a lot of new things. Telehealth, that's still used, which is a way to visit your doctor by not leaving your home. And then remote work for a lot of people, that was something that affected me, became a constant as a result of COVID. So I know the 1920s and the 2020s have both been standout decades. If you think about what has happened in those decades, so even though they're 100 years difference, between the two, they really kind of mirror each other in a lot of ways. They both changed and affected our country, and the technology that we have, it's pretty crazy just to think about just how much they mirror each other. So, thank you, and have a great week.